Hi, it's Ryan Casey, sales trainer, Orange Theory studio owner, and we're back with part 5 of our 6-part series on the real sales training method. Now, if you've been enjoying these videos, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button. Don't forget to share this with somebody you think it would help. Now, I wanted to start with a little recap. And if you haven't watched the first 4 parts, make sure you go back and watch those videos and come back here. Each step really makes the next step much easier. So in the first video, we talked about having a long-term objective. A sale isn't the end of that objective, but falls within the time frame of accomplishing your objective. The second video, we talked about building a relationship of trust with your customer, really show them we care about their best interest, not just making a sale. The third video, we covered what a client really wants, what they need, their fears, how to find out what might be holding them back through asking great questions. And then in our last video, we talked about instead of giving the same pitch to each client, we educate them about our products or our service by emphasizing the aspects of the product that directly relate to the information or the answers that we got when we asked them questions. So that way we're customizing our approach to each client instead of giving a canned approach to everyone. Today, we are talking about the dreaded handling objections. So this is one of the most intimidating aspects of sales. People fear rejection, and the only thing that's worse than rejection is getting rejected over and over. Telling a salesperson to just handle objections is a lot like throwing them in the ring with Mike Tyson. What do you think's gonna happen? They're probably just gonna drop to the floor and give up without a fight. Now, if you're an owner or a manager of a business, you've probably heard someone on your team do this before, where the client gave them an objection and they just said, okay, and didn't even attempt to try to handle it. So how do we fix this, or how do we get around it? The first thing is to stop trying to handle objections or teach your people how to handle objections. No client wants to be handled, and no salesperson wants to do the handling, right? I don't teach handling objections at all. Instead, I teach what handling objections is supposed to accomplish. So if you've done a good job up to this point in the sales process, your prospect should at least want what you have. If it was free, would they take it, right? Now, if the answer isn't yes, then you need to go back a few steps because you got bigger problems than just handling objections right now. But if your client wants your product and they're not saying yes, then there's a problem or concern that's holding them back. And our goal is to solve that problem. So here's where most people mess up. They come up with a solution and they just throw it back at a customer as soon as they hear that problem. They hear, oh, it's too much. Here's a cheaper one, and here's a payment plan. I'm not sure if I would use it. Hey, just pay as you go. Here's our guarantee. Or I have to talk to my spouse. Oh, no problem. We can get you started now, and we can always change it later. If you're in sales, you probably know the answers to their concerns, but how you present them is vital. If you're just throwing it at a client as soon as they express their concern, you're giving them a rebuttal. No client enjoys this. Now you're in a competition with them. It's you against them, and that's not where you want to be. You want to be on their team. You're helping them. You're like an assistant buyer helping them make a decision. You're not battling against them. There are 2 key steps to take before providing any solutions to put the problem holding them back. The first step to take is simply just to listen to them. Make sure you really let them express what's holding them back before you cram a potential solution down their throat. The second step is clarifying. This is the one that is very often missed. Half the time, the concern or the objection a client tells you is not the actual objection that is holding them back. It's just the first thing that came out of their mouth, right? It came into their head when you asked them to buy. It's similar if you've been looking in a store and a salesperson comes out and asks, can I help you? We almost always say, no, I'm just looking. And some of the times we might be just looking, but a lot of the time we're not just looking. We have a specific question, or there's something we're looking for. And that's just the first thing that came out of our mouth, right? By clarifying what is really holding them back, it shows the client that you're taking time to really understand them before you present your solutions. Because if a customer also gives you voices a potential problem, but that's not the real problem, your solution isn't going to be the right one because they didn't even tell you the right problem. So now, after you've taken these 2 steps, then you provide your solution. A client that feels you listened to them, you made an effort to understand them, is going to feel much more open about your potential solution than a client who you just immediately threw a solution into their face. So instead of handling objections with rebuttals, try listening, understanding, and providing a solution. You'll find that not only is it more enjoyable for you and your client, but it's also much more effective. Now, if you're a manager, I want you to think about how much easier this is to teach your people. Instead of telling them to handle objections, you teach listening, understanding, and problem solving. Do you see how less intimidating that is to learn? So if you want to learn more on about crafting the questions, the exact questions on how to clarify those concerns and provide solutions, or even better, how to handle objections before they come up, then make sure you check out my full Real Sales Training course. You can hit the link below. This was part 5 of part 6 series on the Real Sales Training method. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, the like button, and again, please share this with anybody you think it could help. I'll see you on the 6th and final part next, when I talk about the steps you take after they say yes. See you soon.